Thinking Game, TGP, episode 15. So, man, how was your week, man?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, today, we're going to talk about, this may be a slept-on topic, man. A lot of people don't think about this maybe until the crazy stuff start happening, but
that's how it go most of the time.
Maintaining your health as a young adult.
Man.
It's better to maintain it than try to catch it back up.
try to
boy.
Let me get undiabetes. You know what I mean? Let me reverse this trying to lose weight after you done already gained it. Now you got bad ankles or bad knees, you know what I mean? When you could have just been doing a little bit of working out or a little diet tweaking on the way to it that could have prevented, a lot of these other things. It's like a snowball effect.
And one thing, when you in high school, you walking everywhere. You walking around, walking to class, walking in the lunchroom. Your metabolism is high. Probably everybody across the board is high, unless it's just genetic. Your metabolism is not that high.
Yeah.
But once you get out of high school and you're not walking everywhere, you're driving, you're doing not as much walking, you're mostly sitting down, that metabolism start to go down. You ain't careful. You start eating the wrong stuff, and it's so easy to fall out of shape than it is just to stay in shape.
It's consistency, and whatever you do consistently is what you're gonna have. Something you don't have in high school or early adult life is money. Like now, you can eat out like all the time. You can eat steak like that. You know what I mean? You can eat. You're stopping at McDonald's or Starbucks.
In high school, you was not eating steak.
No,
out of high school.
But once you start working, and we're talking about out of high school.
Even working out of high school,
well, maybe not steak, but some people want to live with their parents or be under, in dorm rooms or something like that. So, and now you have now you're working full time.
We gotta make a podcast about that too. I think it's called deviation. What you think something is, but then the actual reality, like living in a dorm room. It's supposed to be an awesome experience. It's supposed to be.
You should never compare anything to prison, but the little small things being put.
Is it more prison? It's just the personality of a person. I'm trying to think. Is it the personality of a person, or is it just dealing with people in general?
Just dealing with people in a small confined space that you can't leave. Like. Your school is attached.
Talk about that.
It's attached to this place. Your education is attached to this place, and you're in a little box with people who are, con artists, manipulators, or nice people who want to just help you. You don't know what you're gonna get.
If I was to start over again, I know I didn't go to a college where I had to stay in a dorm, but I would definitely not stay in a dorm, not do it, unless I had a dorm to myself.
I think
does it seem like if you not staying with your boy or somebody your brother, like you grew up with or something, or somebody at that age, 18, 19? I mean, I don't know.
And we grew up different.
Especially if you don't want to be violent, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to live, you're trying to stay on the straight and narrow, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to wreck shop. You're trying to keep your record clean, you know what I'm saying, through college. Having a roommate with a person that, you from Little Rock, this person from Timbuktu somewhere, Johnny Fairs, Alabama or something, you know what I'm saying? Y'all roommate together. Y'all don't know each other from a pot of beans, man. Next thing you know, somebody's socks come up missing.
Yeah, and there's little things like that. I think it builds character to be able to navigate and adjust in those situations, and I think that's very
that's the thing. It
big
builds
part
character,
of the college.
But everybody
reacts
different, though. That's the thing. Everybody react different, though.
That's one of those situations that's supposed to be building character. You end up doing 3 to 5 because of some escalation.
But let's get back. We're going to actually talk about that on another podcast. But get back to the health part is understanding that when your metabolism slow down, you really have to pay attention to your body, I guess, knowing your body.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know your body could be telling you stuff and you're not paying attention.
And
You know.
your habits change. I think a lot of times when you're in high school, sometimes you play basketball for fun, or you're doing a lot of things like that, physical activity for fun. And now you're, as a young adult, you're doing school and things like that, or you're going full-time job, and those physical activities decrease. But sometimes your appetite stays the same, and that'll affect. Weight gain.
I think a lot of people too, when you in high school, this is, I guess, from my perspective, a lot of people didn't even eat the cafeteria lunch like that too. That's probably why a lot of people didn't really gain that fast either. Some people did, some people didn't. I did, but some people didn't. They're like, man, I'm not eating that crap. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying?
It was part of a
especially those rectangle pieces, man.
It was a balanced diet. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it was real sausage, but it was good. You know what I'm saying?
It was playing the part.
Yeah. And then one point is just because you're skinny, that does not mean that you're healthy.
Oh yeah.
You know, I know you probably seen it. I know I've seen it. It's people they'll be skinny, but they'll have high blood pressure.
Yeah, very high.
Or they'll stroke out. You know what I'm saying? Have a stroke, or have a high cholesterol, or diabetes or something like that. Just because you're skinny, that don't make you healthy. You know what I'm saying? People assume because you're skinny, you're healthy.
And you can be skinny for a variety of reasons. You can have autoimmune disease or so. Things like sickle cell. You should always know your family history. Lupus can run your family.
That's another thing
things
too.
like that.
You
don't even know.
Objective enough to know your family history. You have to look into that. That's important to know your family history, man. And some people, I don't know. A lot of people, we think the average person really sit down and think about their family history.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Like if high blood pressure running your family, you really need to structure your mindset on eating stuff that does not make you, what am I trying to say?
It's high in sodium or salt or something that can...
that don't make that come out in you. You know what I'm saying? You can avoid, unless it's really prevalent in your genetics, if you diet right, you can avoid high blood pressure. Diabetes may be a little different, but blood pressure, like I say, you avoid sodium foods that have high sodium and stuff like that, and maybe not as many soft drinks and stuff like that.
But it's labeled and things like these are easily researched things.
But we're going to put an asterisk on it and say we're not doctors.
Of course, we're not doctors. So that's what I'm saying. Hey, you can Google it, find your own information as well. If you have a history of heart disease, heart failure, there's a bunch of heart healthy diets and heart healthy options with reduced sodium in there. Just looking at labels, you know what I mean, things like
Learn
that.
How to cook.
I mean, there's so many different things that you have to look at. Like, why do my uncle's crazy, my grandpa was kind of crazy, or he was doing this, and they just call it crazy. Well, see what's going on with that. To see if you have a history of anything like that. It's very important. Some stuff that you can avoid, I would, just do what I could to avoid some of those things. If you have a family history of breaking generational curses, is not just a little popular thing to say. Sometimes it's health. Sometimes it's physical, mental, emotional, and things like that. Financial, all kinds of things like that. You have to do it. Health is something you can you get a grip of and maintain if you make the right decision. And think about how much does it cost to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Not going out to eat all the time, like actually, let's say, ideally, right? It's because there's so many restaurants now. When we was in high school, was it a such thing as vegan when we was in high school? So I feel like they just kind of created it.
Yeah, it may be vegetarian, but they probably was way across town, not in Southwest.
No, it's eating out. No.
People eat out, but it'd be like McDonald's, Wendy's.
No. But you're talking about vegan options and things like that.
Yeah. Really, you want to cook
vegetarian options.
Really, you should learn how to cook.
The McRib is vegetables, right?
You think so? I don't too much care for the McRib though, but not my thing.
It's delicious, man. That's what they say.
I mean, it ain't good for you. It probably is delicious. I ain't saying it, but I mean, it ain't good for you.
But it's an investment. Investing in yourself.
Learning how to cook.
Whether it's it's cooking, whether it's a small exercise routine. It don't have to be that 3 hours of cardio.
When you really think about it too, cooking is really not that bad. You just have to do it. The discipline to do it.
Yeah.
This is like, let's say, making a salad. You got to boil the eggs. Or like you say, now I did see that in Walmart. You can buy the eggs already made.
I definitely buy pre-made eggs.
You can boil the eggs, or, you know what I'm saying, buy a salad and just cut it up. You know, the romaine lettuce or whatever. You want to put bacon bits on it, cook some bacon, chop the bacon up. You know what I'm saying?
And even if you're being lazy, all this stuff
chicken, you get boneless chicken
pre-packed.
thighs. Put it on the pan, throw it in the oven, man. Put seasoning on it. Cook it for 15, 20 minutes, it's done. But everybody now nobody wants to sit down and actually cook. You know, I'm even guilty of that myself, you know what I'm saying? But even if you want to eat out, that costs money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to think, if it's just you, maybe you can be disciplined enough. You say, okay, I'm only going to spend $20 a day going out to eat.
But
that's probably one time.
Yeah,
though.
that's like a trip to Starbucks and
right, and that's just breakfast.
Yeah.
So you may end up spending $60 a day.
Easy.
If you got the money.
Been there.
Because if you live in check to check, you ain't got the money. You know how much you spending on food. You like, nah, I can't spend no $60 a day. I mean, spend $60 over 3 days, but man, what are you eating if you spend $60 over 3 days? You going to Wendy's or McDonald's, $1 menu.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And look, that's not money. You know,
going to Captain D's is a splurge, man. You know
and we're talking about, it's just $30 a day. That's like it's just 3 combo meals. It's, you know,
yeah.
25.
That's a lot. But think about gas though. You want to spend $25 a day, then you put half a tank of gas in your car, and that's $60 right there.
Yeah.
That's not including if you gotta get clothes, other stuff you gotta get done,
or any emergency things
bills,
like that.
Yeah.
You know, so really,
you know, it costs to maintain.
Control, investing, and budgeting ain't just a financial thing. If you budget your time, your energy, your effort, and invest in yourself and your health by doing these things, and that's investing something that's not money, that's investing time into your exercise.
And another thing to think about is if you get outside of your health range, and you have to start getting medicine, that costs money. That's not free.
Yeah, that's
and you have to take that. Like if they give you high blood pressure medicine, it may make you feel funny, but you have to take that. And well, if people don't know what high blood pressure is, if I'm not mistaken, when I worked at a little non-profit, they talk about this. That means your blood can get as thick as spaghetti sauce when it's supposed to be thin, like olive oil, but red, but it's supposed to be thin like olive oil though. And your blood gets thick like spaghetti sauce, and your heart is working hard to pump that thick blood through your system. That's when you end up, stroking out because your blood is not getting to where it needs to, your brain like it needs to.
Yeah, and it's different, and we understand that it's different causes for high blood pressure, like
it's different causes,
like clogged arteries, having high cholesterol could.
That's a whole other can of worms. It's not high blood pressure though. Is it?
Yeah,
high cholesterol.
High cholesterol could cause. See, what it does is it blocks your blood vessels, right? So your blood has to pump. Well, it's a lot of different causes for. It's not a medical.
Cholesterol is due to eating a lot of fatty food, though, right?
Yeah, but it builds up.
Calcium? I don't know what it is.
No, it's you got to think like a pipe or sludge or anything like that, and that's what your blood, that's what your veins and arteries are, like that, and it can cake up on the sides, and your heart has to work harder to push the blood through those narrowing passageways that can cause blockages and cause heart disease, because now your blood, it was a full stream, and now it's like, it's a dam, so it's only 20% of what's supposed to be going through that is going, and then that can completely shut off, which can cause major blockages and it cause heart attacks. Cause heart attacks and things like that. And if a piece of that cholesterol breaks free, that can be a blood clot. It also causes a stroke as well.
Anything you eat, any and everything, it has a cost associated with it. Like I said, I'm from the country. My family is from Sweet Home, Arkansas, and We done ate every part of the pig. Whether I wanted to eat it or not, some stuff I was like, nah, I'm not eating that. But country people, man, you eat every part of the pig. But as I got older, though, I don't eat the same way like I did when I was younger. But, you know, you have to watch what you put into your body. Drinking alcohol, if you drink too much of that can mess your liver up. You know? You gotta think about that. They can mess your liver up.
Long-term effects on your brain. There's so many things that can be affected.
You can get dependent on stuff, but if you try to stop, you can't. Your body is shut down because you get dependent. You're chemically dependent on it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, you definitely.
And that costs a lot of money too. I mean, alcohol and cigarettes, you can't live off of them, but it can take a big part of your budget.
Yeah.
The price of cigarettes has gone way up, but since we were young. And now you're smoking them, it's costing you money. You know, you spend $15, $20. It's like, man, I could have ate that. You know what I mean?
I'm so cheap, man. I was so much of a tightwad. I think that's why I didn't even was a square, man. I think I did maybe drink just because it's just like hanging out or something like that. But I don't know. As I got older, started getting more cheaper, man. Turned into a tightwad. It's like, yeah, what's the point, man? Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean,
it's just like, ugh. I don't know. It's like there's no point for me. And because I was like, I got family members that, you know what I'm saying, and you just see the effects of it, of alcohol, man. That kind of turn you away too.
Yeah, because, you see people who were socially drinking now they drinking just to go to sleep. You know what I mean, or just to do this, or not to face whatever demons. You know, there's a.
I think more about the hurt that it could just destroy your liver, man, and over a period of time, man.
And you never know, like, it might be 20 years of drinking for this dude.
Mess your diabetes. If you got diabetic, you can drink and
that's a lot
mess
of
you up too. You know what I'm saying? Because there's sugar that's in it and stuff. Yeah. You just gotta educate yourself on this stuff, and just doing stuff just cause everybody else doing it. You know, your body can't handle that. You have to be aware of that. Like, awareness of yourself and your body is a thing that you should not sleep on. You should want to understand what your body can take, what it can't take, what you're allergic to. It's like when you go to the doctor, they ask you all those questions. I know some people be like, why they ask me all these questions? You probably need to know these things too, unless you're healthy. But if you're not, you need to know these things. Because if you got high blood pressure, you taking these medicines, then they give you something else to counteract that. Man, that could be the end of you right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, if you're allergic to, nuts or something like that, and they give you something that has a nut, almond base to it or some kind of medicine or something. Now, they shoot you up with that. Now you getting hives, you allergic, you over there. Man, what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and then saying that, a lot of stuff that people don't realize. You could be dating somebody that don't know they're allergic to peanuts or almonds.
That's true.
So you're having no, but I'm saying you're having sex with somebody who doesn't know things about their own health. They don't have a PCP. You know what I mean? They don't have a primary care physician. They don't see doctors regularly. They don't take care of their health.
Right.
So what do you think they think about theirs? You know what I mean?
That's true.
They go to the emergency room if they feel, slight burning irritation. You know what I mean? They don't know if UTI is, syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, or something like that. And these are the people that you could possibly be sharing with your bed with. So, maintaining, keeping an eye on your own health and knowing about yourself, and also about your partner. You know what I mean? Some of these diseases don't go away. Not taking care of your body today can be very expensive financially tomorrow. You know what I mean? You don't want to lose your leg at 40. You know what I mean?
Hence.
Due to diabetes or, colon cancer, just regular screening and things like that.
So would you agree that one of the reasons why that you should make a smart decision on the spouse you choose and wait till you get married is to limit those risks of UTIs and disease and stuff like that?
Well, UTI just like,
but
you can drink too many sodas, I guess, with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of things that
because people be thinking like, I'm married, I need to get married for it. Like, if you really think about, the concept of it, I mean, it makes sense. Just some people just they want to do their own thing, but You know,
it makes sense.
Like, we've been there. We've been on both sides of the fence.
Yeah,
People don't understand
whether
that.
you're not doing it for moral or financial reasons or anything like that.
Yeah.
There's health reasons and health benefits to it. Even though they're coming out with new medicines and vaccines every day, they can do this or help you prevent this. You know, like I said, a lot of people aren't taking care of, you know, like I said, their bodies physically or mentally. And you can be sharing a bed with
John Falke over here, man.
you can be sharing your bed with somebody who has this, that, or the other.
Boy.
You know, there's no way to be 100% safe, you know, except wait until marriage. But like I said, if you can't, you just want to
even sometimes
be aware.
If you don't, well, that's not even far. It's tough. It's tough to even just touch on this stuff.
No, that's why you just put it.
Yeah, you have to
put
know who you dealing with, man. Like, you have to be honest about that. Who am I dealing with? Like, what kind of person am I dealing with? Who am I dealing with? Who am I talking to?
But that's the thing we're saying, even with the health thing. These people don't know themselves, so how can you get to know somebody?
And that's what I'm saying. If you meet a person and they don't know themselves, is that a red flag to you? That's all I'm saying. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Definitely.
You can take it for however you want. I'm just telling you, like, if you meet a person and this person don't know, they don't know their health like that.
You ask them a question.
You got to be like a PhD doctor or something.
You ask them a question.
You can
like,
break
I
down.
never thought about that. You know, like, oh wow.
But you should know the basics. Like, I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have diabetes.
I don't know my blood type. You know.
Yeah. So, and okay, so let's move on to the next topic. About having your own mind, especially as you're becoming an adult and making decisions for yourself, learning how to live for yourself and make decisions based on what you know at the time, what you got going on. And I think one of the things I had to stop doing as an individual was stop saying, I don't know. If I don't know, I need to find out before I make the decision. Do the research and find out before I make the decision. A lot of times, we'll do crazy stuff. When you're younger, you'll do something like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
What you expect? I didn't know. But as you get older, man, that becomes less and less prevalent as an excuse that's viable, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, if you go to the courtroom, let's say you do something crazy or something, you go, no, let's say you just show somebody, like, if you show somebody you got a gun, you say this, and they report you and say, oh, yeah, he showed he got a gun. That's brandishing the firearm, man.
Mm-hmm.
You tell the judge, I didn't know that. The judge don't care. Guess what? You didn't know? What you didn't know was going to hurt you. Yeah. So I'm going to give you 2 to 5 so you'll know next time. Let me give you 2 to 5, man. Yeah. So you'll know next time. You're going to
take that.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the I don't know thing. It's just really part of it. A lot of times when you're an adult, they tell you what it is, and you either kind of fight your way out or you just, those consequences come with it. That's the price. That's basically the price tag on the end of whatever it is that your action is or whatever you say or feel.
I think a lot of people.
So you want to do those things.
A lot of people too.
Ahead of time.
I would tell a young person, man, dude, ask somebody if you don't know, like somebody that's trustworthy. They can give you solid information. That's not gonna sell you a dream or sell you something crazy. But if you have somebody in your circle or somebody that that's solid, that you can build a relationship with and can help you, that's been through some things already. Let's say if you 20, but you know somebody that's 35 or something, that can help you through life and help you make, get to that point to make a better decision. Why not talk to that person? But the flip side to that, a lot of people don't, because if they ask you, can I do this? And you say, nah, you don't want to do that. Well, why am I talking to you for now? They don't want to hear the no. Don't do that, do this. Instead of going left, go right. They don't want to hear that. And I think that's another thing. Like, people ask for, they don't want advice. They just want to kind of like navigate through that on their own. But I think a lot of times you don't realize it's so much information. There's so much things you got to think about as an adult. If you can have somebody just to give you a fraction of stuff to kind of connect those dots, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think a lot of people want to move and level up in secret. They don't want, especially men, they don't want to divulge their plan, you know what I mean? Because they want to keep it close to their chest, and whether they fail or succeed, that's on them. Yeah. I want to do it myself. I don't want anybody to say, well, I told you so, or hey, I helped him do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or remember what I did. But it doesn't matter. Like, I'm where I need to be. Who cares if they say, oh, well, I helped him get up there. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your help. You know what I mean? They kind of just throw that back on me. I remember when they was broke and I stayed at his house. Yep. Thank you for letting me stay there. I appreciate it. I wouldn't be. But people always take that as offensive. Well, they keep throwing it in my face. It's not offensive. It happened. You know what I mean?
Another thing is too is I don't know. Maybe it's an inner city thing, but when you start talking about your plan, dudes shoot it down. Like if you say, "I'll go to college, man. I got these 4 years, man. What you going to college for, man? You don't need that." You know what I'm saying? It'd be a lot of stuff like that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And people do.
And you get tired of getting shot down, so you say, I tried to talk to him, but you know, it's both. It's like a two-sided coin.
But even but people seem like they understand it physically, but they don't understand it mentally.
Yeah.
There's sometimes when you receive resistance.
Yeah.
When you're working out, it usually makes you stronger. You know what I mean? You have to push through your plan, even though a little resistance from other people comes. And everybody's not going to be extremely motivated. Some people negatively motivate you. You know what I mean? That's I knew true. You couldn't do it. Some people are motivated by competition. People talking about competition is the worst thing. I had a nephew who's doing really good once he started competing with his sister, trying to know as much as she knows and stuff like that. That really triggered him to push himself. Now he's interested in school.
It's not the
on
worst.
A competition thing.
Competition is not the worst thing, but it can become unhealthy though.
Yeah, and I understand.
Yeah.
If some
you have to monitor that part.
I'm sorry. With unhealthy. Everything you need to monitor, whether you're eating all green food and you know what I mean, or all this and that. Everything that you do in your life needs to be done in moderation.
Yeah.
But considering one thing, evil or good, black or white, is going to be an issue. Like competition, always bad. It's not true.
It's not always bad.
Somebody being negative is always bad. Nope. Somebody being truthful is always good. Nope. Sometimes people will use the truth to manipulate. So.
Yeah.
With this situation, when you tell other people and they're shooting you down, you got to see that as motivation. They're looking within their box.
That's why you have to.
I don't want to talk to other people, and I'm almost against that. Trying to find circles of people of yes men. So I'm gonna go to I'm gonna find a circle of people who only positively motivate me. Well, that's not the answer to your situation either. Yeah, exactly. Like you can't run like. It's hot in here, so I'm gonna run to the cold. You can't do that. You have to find a balance, and like I said, I'd love to go into that, but
no, I think
but you have to
have a network of people that can be honest with you and tell you like you bugging or if you're doing some cool stuff. It's kind of like I think I was talking to my wife about this. You know, you think about Keith Sweat or a person that can really sing. A person that can kind of sing but got a good production team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Keith Sweat probably wasn't, you would probably agree, he wasn't like the top 5 greatest singer or something like that. But he probably had the top 5 greatest production team. Because dude has so many hits, man. He's still making hits.
And like I say, you're talking about singing, songwriting.
Yeah, but you talking about a pure singer, though, most of them don't have the great production team. Some of them do, but not with them the whole time because everybody want to work with him. But Keith Sweat had a production team, bro. Dude was pushing out hits, bro. He's still living off them hits, man. And that's the thing. A lot of times, in the inner city, everybody's so divided, man. There aren't a lot of teams. Everybody clicks, and then with the clicks, if
they say something you don't like, it's fallout time.
Yeah, you don't have the right mindset. You know what I'm saying? Then, it's only going to go downhill because it's like the blind leading the blind, you know what I'm saying?
And then when you just said this, lean to some of your mentors or some of the OGs or whatever to learn from their experiences where they fail and this and that. Now, I'm not going to ask OG who's a kingpin and selling drugs about college. He might shoot that down.
Right.
But I will try to use some of his experiences that parallel that I could use or take advice from.
Right.
And I'm not going, ask the mechanic about finances, you know what I mean? I might ask him about business on the trip, but like a lot of times people just deem other people's advice is irrelevant because they weren't motivational. They didn't package it right enough for you, and now you can't take anybody else's advice.
When we say education, we're not just talking about just college. This is what I'm trying to hope people understand. There's different ways to educate yourself. There's college. There's a vocational education, like being a barber or being a mechanic, auto collision, something like that. There's certifications or different fields, like let's say nursing, anesthesia tech. We're gonna get into some of these jobs, like the top jobs that's in Little Rock. It's like 2018 or something like that. They studied, they did some of the top jobs, but there's so many career fields out there. And if you get the education in that field, man, you can have a base salary that can be like, man, crazy. But a lot of people don't know about it. I didn't know about some of these positions. I still don't know about. I'm learning. You know what I'm saying?
As we go, that's the thing. So a lot of us are planning these generic or these cookie cutter ideal. Oh well, I'm gonna go be this. I just had to go to school for 8-9 years, and those are good. And we
So think about this. Another thing when you're talking about having your own mind is understanding about the layers of perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perception, it sounds like a simple word, but there's so many layers to the onion of that. And sometimes if you're not careful or if you don't get around the right people, you'll start doing stuff based on the perception of what's going on around you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else wearing Jordans, so I need to wear Jordans. Everybody else drinking martini, so I need to drink a martini. You know what I'm saying? It's like now the trend, like, don't go to school. I'm seeing, I work at a college and it's not, packed like probably how colleges used to be. You know what I'm saying? People saying they don't need education. You know what I'm saying? And or another thing is generational perceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certain things mean value to them versus, younger generation. Certain things may not have that same value. You know what I'm saying? But person tell you, it's about this, this, and this, and you like, not really. I'm focused on this, this, and this. You talking about A, B, C, and D. I'm talking about E, F, G, H, I, J, K. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to have the filter to say, hey, you know what? That works for you. I don't have no problem with that, but I'm gonna do me. You know what I'm saying? Let me do my thing. I'm gonna do me. You know what I'm saying?
And then also perception. What people are seeing in kids or younger people can see people like, okay, you're giving me this advice, and this is how you're living. All right. I'm looking at this other person. They seem to be doing whatever they want to do. They're free. They're financially free, and they did it a completely different way. I'm going to do it their way, whether that's fast money or hey, I don't need school to run my own business. I don't need this to do that. And a lot of people are trying to move outside of a traditional way of thinking. And I think, hey, think for yourself, you know what I mean? And do what you believe that works for you. Mm-hmm. But there's some things that are just universal facts. I mean, the more you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, nobody ever had...
See, here's the thing, too, right? Like with perception, people see stuff on social media now. And they think, oh, man, that's cool. You hear Elon Musk, he'll say, you don't need education, you don't need a degree. But he'll be the same dude that'll pay you, $20 an hour to work on the assembly line. Pay you $40,000 a year to work on the assembly line because you don't have education. And guess what? I bet you the people that work for him, software engineers and stuff, I bet you they educated and they making the money. They making over 6 figures. I bet you they educated. How do you validate that you're a software engineer if you don't have an education?
Well, I learned on the fly. This and that. But
when you look at, depending on who you are, though, it's a little bit more to just learn on the fly.
The thing that always gets me is like, I guess it's the best place to say it when you say something like that. Well, I got the education. You don't really need it. You know what I mean? But you already got it. You know what I mean? That's just like saying, hey, you don't need $1 billion. I got $1 billion, and you'll be happier just being, bro, well, give me the $1 billion and then let me see how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But sometimes it's a little easier for people to sit up at a certain position and tell you what you don't need or what what you do and what you don't need.
So, going into our little debate topics, or whether transition into that, and then say, is education important in today's time?
Yeah, I mean, I do believe formal education is important.
Yeah.
Learning, like some people say, well, is history important? I think history is still important. Just knowing regular education is important, even though we can have all this knowledge at our fingertips and we can say, hey Siri, what's this?
Right.
Or who wrote the Gettysburg Address? Hey Google, what's this? What's that? And we have it all at our fingertips. But
right. Here's the thing: is you gotta know. You can pick anything field, but you gotta know where's the profit. Like, how are you gonna be able to take care of yourself? Provide a comfortable living for yourself. Can you do that with the field you're going in? Some fields you got to be a little bit more creative. Some you don't.
You're just talking about just education as far as self-improvement, learning things, or you talking about career-based skills that you're trying to gain to have a career and make a living, or you talking about expanding your mind. I mean, now some people I want to learn. I want to get a degree in. I love God. I want a degree in theology or something like that. It doesn't really,
but I would ask them, how do you plan on maximizing that? What you're learning, though?
Yeah, I mean, no, they're just doing it because that's what they want to do.
And if that's what they want,
that's just the question I'm posing to you.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If that's what they want to do,
which type of education, or what's the purpose for education? Right. Like when you said, is education important in today's time? Right. Is it just, am I just educating to improve my knowledge and just to be smarter? Or am I trying to get a career, trade, field, expertise to increase my worth in, to provide a better life for myself? Because I know some people with, master's degrees and
that's true.
Music that don't like playing music. They just want to know, so they have a curiosity. So they've paid $20,000, $40,000, $50,000. To feel a curiosity. Now, it's education. They're being educated.
I'm gonna give you an example of my 2 cents on why it's important. A lot of times, us growing up in the city, right? We always say we want to start a business. We want to run a business. We want to operate. We want to be a CEO or whatever. A lot of businesses around here. Let's think about this, right? It'll be dudes that cut grass. And they probably making money, but they just cutting grass. They don't understand the business of cutting grass. What I mean by that. Or a contractor. He not even a contractor. He's just a dude that work on houses. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I need my wall fixed. Yeah, go call old Johnny Ferris over there, man. Johnny Ferris will come fix the wall, man. We don't even ask if he licensed contractor. We just see his work and be like, oh, he did so and so house. Yeah. I like that. But guess what? To run a business, it may take you, to do it legally, it may cost you $5,000 before you can even really have a legitimate business just to get started. Yeah. You got to get, if you need a building, but you got to get permits or some kind of approval, liability insurance, tools, whatever else you need. That may cost you $5,000 or $10,000. But if you don't know about that and you trying to, piece stuff together, it's harder to get.
So you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, but you can go to school to learn how to do business if you need, and you can educate yourself so you can already prepare yourself what needs to happen, what dots that I need to connect.
Build your own little infrastructure for your small business.
Definitely, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying, like, I'm saying that this is my opinion. I think in the next 10 years, what is it, 2022? 2032, 2035, 40,000 is going to be tough to live on, bro. It's going to be almost like close to the poverty line or something, man.
But the poverty has, increased. The poverty line is going up every year. So, I mean, gradually.
Yeah. And if you don't have something that separates you from everybody else, because I guess if I had an analogy like the ladder, everybody don't want to climb to the middle, to the top part of the ladder, everybody's more comfortable at the bottom to like be on a couple of steps on the ladder. But at that point, that's where everybody is. Everybody's crowded around that point. Versus when you get to the middle of the ladder, it's like you see the bottom and the top. You got a vantage point or something like that. But when you start getting to the top, people at the bottom, they don't understand the climb that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So what matters down here may not matter right here and right here. You know what I'm saying?
I completely, understand that. And I think a lot of people start to put people in. Well, people are comfortable down here at the bottom. They just don't. They have the motivation. They want to move. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to do it. They don't know what step 1 or step 2 is. And a lot of people sit there like, well, just do it, just hustle, just do this. And those people are very confused. I was just talking to some people about that. Yeah. They're down there, like I'm down there, and they don't know where to do. They want to. So I know some people have been down there trying, Right. But what they do is they take 5 steps on this ladder. They don't like it. Something happens. They have a different change of passion, so they climb down. Then they take 5 steps on this ladder.
Right.
Then they climb down, they take 5 steps on this ladder. When they could have been 15 steps up one ladder.
Right. And you know what? Sometimes
they've done the work, but they've done the work in the same place.
We was talking about perception. Sometimes when you're learning about yourself and you say, oh, I'm good at this. But the people sometimes at the bottom of the ladder be like, man, you don't want to do that, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a dude say he wanted to be a police officer, you somewhere and do it by like, you don't want to be a police officer, man. That ain't the job you want to do, man. But that's probably what that person want to do. The perception of being a cop will shy you away from doing it because of the perception of being a cop. You know what I'm saying?
See, and that's another thing too. When he talks about that, like that's 100% true. But this is not for the people who 100% want to be a cop because they know they want to be a cop. These are the people that 75.
Yeah, the people you talking about that don't know.
They're 65, 75. They don't know. They kind of maybe want to be a cop, but I kind of want to be a fireman. I kind of want to be. And they don't know. They want to be something. But what that is not. So when somebody's about 65%, and then somebody says you don't want to be that, that just adds another percentage. And they're like, well, maybe I don't want to be there. Because they really kind of do, but they kind of don't.
Right. Because it's not deemed as cool, perception-wise.
Yeah.
It's not deemed as
and
cool.
They don't 100% want to do it. Yeah. Now, I don't care. These not for these people who know what they want to be. If you know you want to be a cop and somebody tells you that being a cop is the worst thing, you just be like, okay, I still want to be a cop. Yeah. We're not talking about those people. But those people at the bottom of the ladder who can't quite make the decision, they don't feel the strong passion in their heart to be an actor, singer, dancer, lawyer, you know what I mean, fisherman. When they're not sure, they usually tend to kind of linger a little bit longer or a little bit easier to discourage.
And I want to ask you guys to comment on this. What you think if we did like make content on different careers, like look up the information on what it take to be a lawyer or what it take to be a principal or a teacher or something like that, or different positions that a lot of people maybe not know about, but the path in those positions. Like if you go down this path, it can get you here, and you get to see different levels of where you at, the ecosystem, like working for the school district or working for college or higher education or something like that.
And we'll try to take you from where you are. Well, we can start from like high school.
Want to be an electrician, you know what I'm saying?
And
go
we can
to an
take
apprenticeship.
You to that, like from high school.
Yeah, come in and let us know. We can definitely go over there. I don't mind going over there. Even if we need to go to an apprenticeship and talk to the apprenticeship.
Exactly.
Them, you know what I'm saying?
The steps that you can take from
give you that exposure.
From your education level now or even from where you started.
So, the next question is, can you get to a 6-figure base salary without education? You can do that?
The simple answer is yes. Entrepreneurship, you can always invent something. You can be, but then it's like, we're talking about base salary, not like, like where you're getting a salary from someone else, where somebody else is paying you a salary.
Yeah.
without education, that's looking bad because the things that I just named, entrepreneurship, like,
Yeah.
now nobody's paying your salary. You're paying your own salary.
Mm-hmm.
And that automatically jumps into that. You're a professional athlete, you know what I mean? That's almost in a sense like winning a lottery in a sense.
Yeah.
I know I'm brainstorming right here with you.
It's a two-sided coin, right? Can you get to a six-figure base salary without education? Yes, you can. The thing is, it's like you can get to that level, but to get there, it's gonna take so much mental overhead and work to get there. You have to really build relationships. You have to, or if you get into the job, you can almost handcuff yourself to that job because you don't have the flexibility to move around because you don't have the formal education. It's kind of like
and ain't nobody gonna
you
pay
only have
what
one
you
door
get
you
if
can
you
go
get
in
it,
instead of having 5 doors you can go in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so he's saying even if you do get it, you might be stuck where you are because you can't get that from anybody else because that one company is gonna, to give you that. And we're not saying that just because you have education, you can PhD, master, you have 3 PhDs and still not hit the 6-figure mark.
Yeah.
But it does give you more options to find what it is that you're looking for, whatever that might be.
So now this is the real part. This is the youth need to understand this. Where you're at, your geographical location.
Oh, that was another thing.
You need to understand the landscape that you're in. Little Rock, minority, young black man trying to climb this corporate ladder. You want to give yourself as many options and as many advantages as you can to make that climb as easy. I'm not saying it's still gonna be hard, but you wanna. It's kind of like climbing a mountain without spikes and a rope and a harness. You just climbing it with just your hands and chalk and some regular tennis shoes.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you want to get a harness? Why wouldn't you want to get the helmet? Why wouldn't you want to, have everything as far as a protection wise?
Yeah, it's just like having, anything, any kind of, insurance, car insurance and things like that. It seems like a high price to pay monthly until you hit something.
Because I know in IT, that you hear people online on YouTube or something saying, I got this job making 6 figures and I don't have a degree, no degree and stuff like that. But they don't tell you how long it take to do that. They don't tell you how many interviews they had to go to, really having to prove themselves. And a lot of times they get underpaid. A lot of times you don't even really get the top end of the salary because they know they can discount with you because you don't have the education.
Or they got lucky. They know somebody in the company. They're good networkers and things like that. But what we're saying, you don't want to ever limit yourself. You want as many options that you could possibly have. Any safety nets, retirements, and things like that you can have. And sometimes, more bullets in your gun. You know what I mean?
Right.
And education could be that, for you.
Now, here's the flip side. Like, every situation is not the same. It's not typical, right? Mm-hmm. Remember last podcast, we talked about diversity. We talked about the ducks, a duck and a goose.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 totally different situations. Seen it before. I remember I was working at a particular job, and they did like this little intranet thing where you can see who different people in different positions and how they got there or whatever. Now this is where disparities come in at, right? The ducks was looking at the goose. Ducks was looking at the geese. And a lot of the geese, there was top level geese, and they probably had their, master degrees and whatnot. But they seen one. It was a goose, one goose, that was at a top level position, but they only had a high school diploma. But the goose that was in a top level position, high school diploma, had ducks working for the goose that had bachelor's and master's degrees, working for the goose with a high school diploma in a top level position. Sometimes goose have privileges that ducks don't have. You agree with that?
Yeah, most definitely.
And you can't get caught up in what the goose have and what the ducks don't have. You know what I'm saying? You can't get caught up in that. What you got to understand is it's kind of like the workplace now is kind of like the NBA, you know, NBA, NFL. What can you negotiate? What's your skill set and what can you negotiate? Some teams want an all-purpose running back. Some teams want a running back that can just catch the ball out the backfield. If you want all-purpose running back, you're not going to mean that much to a team. They just want a running back to catch the ball out the backfield. They just want a catch the ball running back. But if you are the team they want the all-purpose running back, ain't gonna want just the running back to catch the ball out the backfield. You're not gonna be as valuable. You gotta know where your value is and where you can apply that and get the most value. You don't want to leave no money on the table in your corporate journey. You want to get everything that you can negotiate and get. You don't want to leave nothing on the table. You got anything to say? One more time.
No.
So, the last topic in this section is it's hard to give a number on this, but I think a lot of young people need to think about this is how much does it take to live comfortable when you are retired in the future? Because they talk about this all the time. That retirement may not even be there by the time you get to like Social Security and stuff.
Yeah, that might be a
But
wrap.
from my understanding, from what different things I've heard from people that have retired, older people I talk to, they not all, but a high percentage of retirements they pay you once a month. So you don't get paid bi-weekly no more.
Yeah.
So let's say you retire and bi-weekly you probably was getting $800-900 a month. Well, you may get. Would you get the same thing in that one payment a month?
Sure.
Or would you get probably like 15, probably go down to 1,500?
Yeah,
At the first of the month, you get
subject
$1,500. That's gonna last you till the first of next month.
Yeah, it's
instead of bi-weekly, $750 every 2 weeks. That $1,500.
And then maybe like 65% or something like that, depending on your
salary. Yeah, so that's gonna last you the whole month, bills and all. Your bills, your leisure time, like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
think about gas,
multiple
vehicles.
So having multiple, investments, like whether you have a pension and your 401, and this and that, yeah, you want to have checks coming from different places. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
In your old age.
Then we gotta do with your time because most people when they bored, they spend money when they bored.
Yep, that is most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're not gonna become this better person. You're not going to read more books all of a sudden. You never read books in your life, then you retire. You're not going to be, now I'm going to start working out more. Or it's like those people, well, when I get married, I'm going to cook. Or when I get this, when I have kids, now you don't magically start doing stuff that you never done without actual effort, energy, and dedicating time to do, said thing,
Okay. Probably another time because that's pretty tough, man, because don't know a whole bunch about it because a lot of people don't even talk about that, but this is stuff I heard from talking to older people. So this last topic is a treat we want to share with you guys, especially the youth, people that know about these different positions. They did a study in 2018 of the top paying positions in Little Rock.
Yeah, and that was another thing too. When you was talking about we're gonna like pick a position, kind of go into it and the steps and the education that it takes from different levels.
Yeah.
We can actually specify 2 different areas as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you are in Little Rock and you're looking for one of these jobs, if you want us to look into it to see what education you need, you know what I mean, from the starting point, we can do it by location also because it might not help you out as much if we're doing a position that's in New York, you know what I mean? That's not even available
You
for
got to
me.
think in bigger cities, the competition is even greater.
Yeah, people definitely want. You're a dream killer if you tell them that as well. So if you're taking your skill set that was limited in Little Rock, Arkansas, now you want to take that very limited skill set, those 3 tricks that you know, when even people in here know 5 or 10. Now you're gonna take that to New York.
Yeah.
And you only know 3 things. So, but that was just something I wanted to get into before we went into the top paying positions here in Little Rock, Arkansas, as of 2018.
I would encourage you do your research on these positions. Just look up positions, just see what's out there. Because like I said, there's a lot of these positions. I didn't even know a lot of these positions. You know what I'm saying, existed, but. All right. It said, here's a quick look at the top 10 highest paying jobs in Little Rock. The first one is internist, general internist, which is pretty much like a medicine doctor, if I'm not mistaken. Family and general practitioners, I think that's a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Surgeons, that's when you're, doing surgery on people, whether it's, heart surgery, urology, is it urology surgery? There's so many surgeons out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, plastic surgery. Everybody want this
back
Brazilian
surgery.
butt lift. So
you
can do those.
Dentists, general dentists, physicians, and surgeons, nurse anesthesists, post-secondary teachers, health specialists, teachers, post-secondary, optometrists, and that's the people that do eye exams and glasses. Whoever thought that is in the top 10. Wow. Or because you got to get glasses every year.
Yeah,
you got to get glasses every year.
Optometrist is a doctor, so
are they?
Yeah, but yes.
Okay, I know that. Architectural and engineering managers. Now, detailed list of the highest paying jobs in Little Rock. This is in 2018. A generalist. It said entry level salary, average salary, number of people. In 2018, it probably could be up or down. This depends. 130 people, average salary of an internist, a general internist, $112,710. So, being a doctor, what, bachelor's degree? Is it master's degree? Or medical school?
I know it's definitely medical. It's definitely med school.
So, what, bachelor's degree, then go to med school?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, what do you think, about 8 years?
Yeah. Plus, you got to do a lot of, that's a lot of school.
So, 8 years plus some residency, and the entry level salary is $112,000. The average salary, that's when you get the years of experience. You've been working in it for a while. The average salary is $254,730. I mean, most people ain't even making $54,000, let alone $254,000.
200 on there.
Family practitioners, $234,000 is the average salary. $128,000 entry level. And another thing you got to think about, like I said, we talked about ducks and goose. You know, those goose, man. A lot of these dudes be the goose of the, ducks. You got to start out as a duck, and you got to get to goose level, man. You know what I'm saying? Optometrist, eye doctor, the person you go get your glasses on.
Look at that.
Average salary, $53,000.
Look at where they start.
Yeah, $53,000. And then the average salary of an eye doctor is $123,730. There's 60 people that was doing that in 2018. Yeah, post-secondary teachers, that's pretty crazy. And that makes sense too, because you start out at $19,000. And that's after you get your degree, bro. You gotta have a bachelor's degree, I think, and a teaching certification. That's a principal though, bro. Wouldn't that be principal? Or this college?
They said all others.
Man, that's crazy.
That's a big gap.
440 people.
And from all those, you got one of them.
That's a gap. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of them not making $130,000. I can guarantee you that.
The average, I would think that was the max, but they said that was the mid range. Wow. And see, that's another thing. How far you can be in the same field away from the middle.
Yeah.
So how hard it is to be average sometimes in different fields.
Yeah, they said that's the average. I think that's for principals and stuff, though, bro. I don't think that's for like the average teacher.
They said for all they're doing out of the 440 people.
Yeah, it's only so many principals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evidently, some brought that average up.
Engineering managers. They say you go to school for engineering, bro. Average salary $71,000. And no, the average salary is $119,000. Entry level is $71,000. Judges.
And magistrate, yep.
Yep. It says 35, but I think if you can finagle that a little bit more though. And they said the average.
You basically got to be a lawyer.
Yeah, because you can be a lawyer and make more than that right off the rip. Being a lawyer and make more than that. I think it's down here. Yeah, a lawyer. You starting out at 48, but that man, lawyers is more than that with the inflation and everything.
Well, yeah, it's like it's like a business owner too. Like you control how much you make. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Pharmacists. It says entry level is 41, average is 106. I think if you actually market yourself in college and get them relationships and stuff, you can be making way more than that.
Yeah,
as a pharmacist.
When I was looking for jobs, I was looking for what they was offering new hires, and it was way higher than that.
And here's the thing: what's for 4-5 years of your life if you can get to an average salary of making 6 figures?
That's another thing too. Like people say 4 years of your life. Now I wish I can go somewhere, get in the machine, stay in that machine 4 years, or serve 4 years in prison, then come out and make that. It is 4 years of hard work, or 4 years of doing something that you're not necessarily comfortable with. You know what I mean? Everybody's not good in school, but if you allow yourself to grow and adjust and at least experiment with that, those new things, you could possibly be at this salary.
I think the thing that I had to learn for myself, when you saying like that people not comfortable, school is it's not more so about the school. It's more about the consistency of doing something. Sometimes being comfortable, you won't challenge yourself to do something. Like, I bet you most of these things, you're probably not going to be comfortable going to school for this. But if learning something might make you uncomfortable for those few years, but then you can get to a place of comfort where you can support yourself and do other stuff, I was like, you know what? I've been uncomfortable. Because being comfortable, a lot of the jobs that you're comfortable with ain't on this list, bro. It's not on this list. Like Walmart or working at a retail place ain't on this list, bro.
And I guarantee you that those jobs aren't comfortable either. It's just like my brother always say, choose your hard. And it's not. And we're talking about getting out of your normal, being uncomfortable. That's why we sometimes aim stuff at high school kids, because they've already been in school. Going to school is extremely normal and comfortable to you because you've been doing it all your life.
Yeah.
So if you just transition over, it's not very much different.
No, we're trying to get you to understand is the younger you start, the more chance you have to get to this average level salary, instead of waiting till you in your 30s to try to go back to school. That's what we're saying. If you start this at 19, 18, 17, 18, 19.
No, you already started. You started at 5. Just continue the school trend. Just follow. Some stuff, it's good to be a leader and an innovator. Some stuff is kind of set up for you. If it's a beaten path, you know what I mean? You might kind of stay on the school or the educational path. I know it seems normal or mundane, but it could be like extremely normal. We're just saying sometimes pick your path that best suits you toward once you get toward that the higher education route. Because getting out and getting back in is a little bit different. Now you have to change your whole, like you're saying, getting out of being uncomfortable doing this or doing that.
like I said, I had a 2-year degree, and I thought that was the end all be all. I could just be good with a 2-year degree. But what I ran into is I couldn't get past a certain number I was trying to get past because of they kept throwing that up. Is that, you know, we need you to have a 4-year degree. We need you to have a 4-year degree. We it's cool you got a 2-year degree. You did good on the interview. You did great. But we really need you to have the 4-year. I'm telling you from my own experience. Now, is that typical for everybody? Probably not. But I'm telling you, a lot of these jobs, you got to have some kind of post-education. High school diploma just not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it.
It's really not. And you know, and I guess you can complain from the other side. Well, I got my degree and I still ain't getting paid. I got my 2-year, I didn't get paid. I got my 4-year, I didn't get paid. I got my my master didn't look. I mean, there's always going to be those horror stories on anything, right? You know what I mean? And everybody knows somebody who's got a PhD that's only making $30,000, $40,000. But, you know, you still have those options. You don't want to be limited, you know what I mean? Plus, you don't want to give any of those years back.
And the question I have is, I would think about, and I'm glad you said that about people at that other side of the fence, because people do that. My question is, let's say you get a 4-year degree, because all this going to tie together what we just talked about, right? What am I looking for? Marketing manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about maintaining your health.
Yeah.
We just talked about perception. And we just talked about is education important in this time. Maintaining your health. Most people that's in marketing or marketing managers have a certain aesthetic that go with their position, whether we want to agree with it or not. They have a certain aesthetic to be a sales or marketer, right? The top people, it's like an aesthetic that go with their position. Perception. The perception is understanding perception that goes with the lifestyle of a marketing manager. Wearing suits now. Now you wearing suits. You're making $108,000. You ain't wearing jeans in a pullover to work every day. Maybe on Fridays if they have that policy. Most of the time you're wearing a button-down shirt, slacks, or you're wearing a suit, a full-blown blazer, button-down shirt, slacks, and some dress shoes. You agree?
That's your uniform.
Right. That's the perception now. That's what
it's just a uniform, just like you wear, like you're a cop.
Yeah. Now, education is important. I'm gonna click on this. Let me see. Marketing manager.
Well, this yeah.
Marketing manager is a key person with many responsibilities when it comes to finding customers' products. Okay, let me find out what you need. How to become a marketing manager. A bachelor's degree is required for most advertising, promotions, and marketing management positions. These managers typically have work experience in advertising, marketing, promotions, or sales. Bachelor's degree is required for most of these positions. For advertising management positions, some employees prefer a bachelor's degree in advertising or journalism. A relevant course of study might include classes in marketing. So, in order to get to that average salary level, they want you to have a bachelor's degree. That's 4 years. 4 years of a time investment.
And financial, of course, you got to pay for school.
Right. But if you go for 4 years, the minimum, the entry level is $53,000. And then when you get in, you get about five years of experience, maybe. Sometimes you can get 2. And you can get to anywhere close to that.
And and these
you can't pay your student loans off. You making 6 figures, you can't pay your student loans off.
That's the thing. You're presenting now. The way we present it definitely seems like a no-brainer. Like, hey, you just wait 4 years and you'll be magically awarded this. No, it's a lot of day. Like I say, it's a lot of day in and day out effort. It's consistency of doing the same thing,
right.
Having good behavior. and good habits, good steady habits for the 4 years. And sometimes honestly it might take you 6. You know what I mean? But it's going to get you to where you need to be and give you those options. Yeah, you might not be able to find a job. You know what I mean? You might find a job for $20,000 at first, but at least you have the chance for growth, a high chance. You know what I mean, of growth versus trying to, without education, you don't have those tools or those opportunities.
And another thing about the other side of the fence argument, we said people say they can't find a job. Yeah. Another thing is about going, if you go somewhere and deal with other people that's outside of where you live, you learn how to build relationships or learn how to talk to people that are not based on your demographic, right?
Yeah, and they're not, just because you have a degree don't mean they're going to give it to you.
You have to learn how to communicate and articulate to everybody, not just one particular group. Learning how to talk to somebody that's from a different culture than you are. Talking to a person that's of Asian descent, talking to a person that's of Latin descent, talking to a person that's, from France or, Great Britain or something. Can you talk to this person without offending them or have a conversation with this person?
Also be relatable.
Yeah, be relatable. Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? That goes along. Your personality goes a long way. If you don't fit into that company, they're not going to hire you. They don't care how much skills you are. If your personality don't fit in that puzzle scheme of what they got going on, they're not going to hire you. I can guarantee you that. So what I mean by that is, let's say,
you gotta have all those things too, because if you fit really good and they really like you as a person, but you don't have education, you can't get the job anyway. So you need all these pieces to work together. You want to be best package and the best product that you can possibly be.
I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you want to be a dentist, a general dentist, right? But you can't stand smells though. You don't like funny smells, but you want to be a general dentist. Do you think you can work as a dental dentist and get by and not smell a funny smell?
I don't.
That's what I'm saying, but some people they'll say, but they're not being honest about, you picked a field, but it goes against who you are though, because you don't like funny smells.
Finding yourself is very important, and it don't say.
And the first time you grind somebody's teeth down, you don't like the way they smell. Now you don't want to do it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you wanna be. Let me think about something else. I don't want nobody to feel like I'm picking on them, so I'm trying to think about something. Let's see. You wanna be a database administrator, but you don't like doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
That bores you, doing the same thing over and over.
I want to be excited.
Because most of the time it's the same commands over and over. You just pulling data out of something that's already there. You just pulling data out for reports and stuff. If you can't do that, if you're not good at that, sitting at that desk, doing the same thing, typing commands and working on a database, why are you signing up for that?
Yeah.
You said, I didn't know. Why you didn't do the research before you picked that course to study in?
Yeah.
It's like you said,
we know a lot of this stuff is easier said than done. Plotting the course.
That's why we're making a podcast, so you can think about the thinking game. You can think about it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so I mean,
it's crazy, man. There's so much stuff out there. Like, I don't know where you gonna make that at here, but they said philosophy and religion teachers post-secondary making 65. But that's the average though. And that's in 80. That's like number 80 on the list, though. I'm not saying, hey, that's still pretty good in Little Rock.
Still, but like I said, they're not starting that far from the average either. The other position was like, you start at 19, you can make 190.
Yeah, that's a big disparity, bro.
that seems,
and I can say from
sketchy to me.
I can say from IT that these, it depends, man, on where you go, man, and how much your skill set, what you can negotiate, because most of the time, you work for the state or something, you probably gonna be getting that. If you work for like a company, like a private company or something, you probably could get that. But what all comes with it though, working for the state, making this, you may have like one specific thing that you do. when you're working on like systems or something like that. You may just do Active Directory and that's it. You work for here, you're gonna be doing everything. You're gonna be working on servers, you're gonna be working if they need computers, imaging, you're gonna do all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have to understand that like this salary gonna encompass a different kind of work. You know what I'm saying? This salary gonna encompass this kind of work. And that's when we talking about being comfortable. It's some people, I've seen it, they'll work, they be at the state for like 15 years, bro, and they never even got a raise. They still making this right here, entry level salary. Some people retire from actually they retire making that.
Yeah.
And you gonna live off a month salary. I don't know how much that is. I looked that up. I want to look that up. Look that up. How much is?
And then there's something, you know, like they don't even shop themselves around, you know what I mean, after year 5 or 10.
Think about that, bro. Make that bigger so they can see that. $42,080 is $21.04 an hour, right? $841 a week. So you're looking at what, about 16 and some change, something like that, 1,600 and some change every 2 weeks before you take out taxes and insurance and stuff like that. So you think about that, 1,600. I mean, dude, you could lose 600 just off benefits, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you got a family, if you got a family, if it's just you, maybe you may lose $200, maybe $400 on benefits. Because the insurance, working for the state, the insurance is how long? Yeah. Just the good insurance, you ain't paying $200 a month. I mean, every 2 weeks, just off of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, imagine if you retire though, you get $1,600, or you may get $3,500 for the month. But you only get 60% of that though. Yeah. So you're not even getting $3,500. So what you get? What? 16, 1,700?
Yeah, and depending on where you work for,
you know what I'm saying?
Who you work for, man, you might only get that for a little bit.
Man. And you gotta make that last for 30 days or 31 days.
Yeah, I feel the pain.
You know, like Keith Sweat, boy, making it last forever. But yeah, man, we wanted to break that down, talk about health, perception, why education is important in today's time, and show you some of these high paying, some of these positions that work. So, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. We're about to get ready to sign out this thing, man. I think both of us, man, is ready to go to bed. But we just wanted to bring you this podcast and talk about that, man. And maintain your health. Take care of your body, man. It's easier to stay on top of it than it is to let it get past you, man. Try to bring it back, because it's tough.
Yeah.
Trying to bring it back, man. Because the older you get, the harder it is to bounce back.
Yeah, we all watch those shows like My 600 Pound Life or whatever. It's just step by step. Nobody wakes up 600 pounds, you know what I mean? And nobody wakes up a millionaire. So just like you save and invest in yourself, just like you overeat consistently, having bad habits like that, you can wake up. Well, you won't wake up. You'll gradually become 600 pounds. Right. And if you work hard and you pick your path, you know what I mean? Increase your worth, you can get to that $1 million, just like you can get to that 600 pounds. And once you get to that 600 pounds, it's hard to lose. You know what I mean?
Like, think about it, man. It's people.
You can't even walk, basically.
Maybe not that many of us, but there are some out there. You know, you get in some of these high level positions, man. You making over 300,000. So, you know, you get a job making 300,000 in 3 years. I mean, 4 or 5 years. you should be. I mean, man, that's crazy, man. You making crazy money, man.
You
After taxes, what, 300 grand after tax? You still bringing home? You think you still bringing home at least 180, almost 200 after taxes for the year?
Yeah,
you still bringing home.
Yeah, depending on, like I said, what you do with your taxes and things like that. But yeah, once you just live and you find your groove in living, you know what I mean. Some people keep exponentially increasing their spending and their expenses, but other people find a groove in life, and you can start to really build your wealth.
See, that's a topic right there within itself. If you made 200,000, are you gonna live check to check, or can you still live how you living now? Or do you feel like you got to upgrade?
I know people in their tax.
And now you still living check to check and 200 grand.
You know, 200 plus grand. Like I'm impossible.
I got to get the Range Rover.
We're not even talking about.
I got to get the new Range Rover.
We're not even talking about like before. We're not talking about gross. We're like net.
Yeah.
You know, in the 200s, 300, 350s probably, and still check to check.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Like still checking, like, oh, did that payment come in? Did we get that? Boy. You know what I mean? Like,
man,
I don't know. But we definitely enjoyed you. Like and subscribe, share.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and we signing out.